The Mejlis of the Crimean Tatar people is the single highest executive representative body of the Crimean Tatars in period between sessions of the Qurultay of the Crimean Tatar people. The Mejlis is a member institution of the European Union's Platform of European Memory and Conscience. Status. The status of Mejlis was legalized by the Presidential Decree of May 18, 1999, about the Council of Representatives of Crimean Tatar people. In 2010, the President of Ukraine Viktor Yanukovych reformed the council, cutting it almost in half and establishing control over it by appointing its members by the President of Ukraine. From its foundation in 1991 until 2013, its chairman was Mustafa Abdulsamal Kerimoglu. Since October 2013, the chairman is Rifat Shabarov. The Mejlis's deputy leader is Ilmi Umerov. 2 days after the annexation of Crimea by the Russian Federation on the 18th of March 2014, the Ukrainian parliament officially and explicitly recognized the Mejlis as the executive body of the Qurultay of the Crimean Tatar people, while the Qurultay was recognized as the higher representative body of the Crimean Tatar people. The Ukrainian parliament also recognized the Crimean Tatars as indigenous people of Ukraine. On July 3, 2014, it was announced that for the first time Mejlis would hold its session outside of Crimea in Henichesk. Authority and goals. In its activities, Mejlis is subordinated to Qurultay, guided by its decisions, current regulations, the Mejlis of the Crimean Tatar people statute, norms of international law and legislative acts of Ukraine not contradicting with these standards. The main goal of the Mejlis is the liquidation of consequences of genocide conducted by the Soviet state in regard to the Crimean Tatars, reinstatement of national and political rights of the Crimean Tatar people and realization of the rights on the free national state, self-determination on its national territory. Mejlis of the Crimean Tatar people consists of 33 members including the Mejlis chairperson. Simferopol is the location of Mejlis. History. The current Mejlis was founded in 1991, to act as a representative body for the Crimean Tatars which could address grievances to the Ukrainian central government, the Crimean government, and international bodies. On June 30, 1991, the Mejlis declared its sovereignty over the Crimean Tatars, and adopted the Crimean Tatars national anthem and national flag. Also, the Crimean Tatars elected 14 Crimean Tatar deputies to the Verkhovna Rada of Crimea. These 14 deputies were the first Crimean Tatar representatives in the Crimean parliament in over 50 years. During the 1998 parliamentary elections, members of the Mejlis joined the RUK election list. During the 2002, 2006, and 2007 parliamentary elections, members of the Mejlis joined the Our Ukraine election list. On April 6, 2010, several pro-Russian Crimean political leaders in Crimea demanded the disbanding and banning of the Mejlis and all other forms of political representation for the Crimean Tatars, claiming that they were organized criminal groups and said their activities are unconstitutional. Crimean Tatar organizations have urged President Viktor Yanukovych to protect Crimea's indigenous people from discrimination. During the 2012 parliamentary elections, members of the Mejlis joined the All-Ukrainian Union Fatherland election list. Since 2012, Mejlis is member of the Platform of European Memory and Conscience. In 2014, the Mejlis boycotted the Crimean referendum after Russian military intervention in Ukraine. In May 2014, Crimean Tatar leader Mustafa Zhemlev was prevented from entering Crimea, resulting in Crimean Tatars organizing large protests and a failed attempt to help Zhemlev enter Crimea after Crimean Crimean Tatars broke through a border checkpoint. In response, Crimean authorities accused the Mejlis of extremist activity regarding illegal gatherings marked by violence and threats of violence, warning that the Mejlis could be dissolved and outlawed across Russia. Banned by Russian authorities, the Mejlis was labeled an extremist organization by Russian authorities in Russian-annexed Crimea and banned by the Russian-appointed Supreme Court there on 26 April 2016. According to Regional Prosecutor General Natalia Poklonskaya, it was banned because its leaders had sought to destabilize Crimea since the 2014 annexation of Crimea by Russia through the use of propaganda of aggression and hatred towards Russia, inciting ethnic nationalism and extremism in society. Council of Europe's Commissioner for Human Rights Nils Muizhnieks urged the court to reverse the ban since he believed equating with extremism paves the way for stigmatization and discrimination of a significant part of the Crimean Tatar community and sends a negative message to that community as a whole. Exiled in mainland Ukraine, Chairman of the Mejlis Rifat Shabarov stated the court's decision was unjustifiable and that the occupiers in Crimea are doing everything to crush Crimean Tatars and force everyone to be silent. Amnesty International stated the ban demolishes one of the few remaining rights of a minority that Russia must protect instead of persecute. Deputy Chairman of the Mejlis Nariman Jalil vowed that the organization would try to continue its work despite the ban, saying it will continue working in Ukraine and other countries.